The purpose of the 2023 Los Angeles Lead Summit hosted by Painted Brain is to uplift the experience uh, of conversations about what is working and what isn't working in the current mental health system from a peer perspective. These conversations will be shared at the California State Conference with peers throughout the state to see to see where what is working and what isn't working overlap. The feedback will be used to support the advocacy initiatives at the June 2023 California State Lead Conference in Sacramento, hosted by California Association of Mental Health Peer-run Organizations, CAMHPRO. My name is Tristan Scremin, and today I will be conversing with today's storytellers about their lived experience with the mental health system. Let's lead the way by using our peer voices for advocacy. Welcome, and thank you for agreeing to share your lived experience with us all. What is your name, pronouns, and how do you identify?
Hi, my name is Max Leva, and my pronouns are they, she. I identify as a mental health advocate, also somebody with lived experience, and also somebody who has family members that have mental health.
Considering your lived experience, what do you think is working in the current mental health system? Share times when you felt the interaction with the mental health system supported and was helpful to you, and the care you received and support and or resources for your recovery journey. So what is working with the current mental health system, in your opinion?
In my opinion, what's helped a lot in my own journey with mental health has been the crisis line. Whenever I've had a crisis or I'm not feeling good, especially as somebody who has like anxiety and sometimes has panic attacks, sometimes the best thing for me to do is to talk to somebody, but somebody who is not necessarily my family, more like a third party person, so I can really express how I feel. And I would say throughout the COVID pandemic and even before COVID, the crisis line has been extremely helpful. I have had really good therapy sessions through the crisis hotline and just received a lot of support in those moments where I was feeling extremely anxious. So I would say the crisis line was number one for me. And I would say the second thing is therapy. Like having access to therapy has been very helpful for me and something that I feel is very, very beneficial for everyone is to be able to have somebody that they can talk with. Um, so I would say those top two things are what I feel is doing really good, and there's a lot more conversation about harm reduction as well.
Excellent. Thank you. Considering your lived experience, what do you think is not working in the current mental health system? Share times when you feel like your interactions with the mental health system did not support you or was harmful to you in receiving care, support, or receiving or resources for your recovery journey. So what's not working with the current system?
First of all, I just want to say thank you for this opportunity because I've been dying to have this conversation as a mental health worker. But first, I'll start with myself. The number one thing is that not everybody has access to therapy. And the number one problem is the insurance part. When I wasn't insured and for my first like 10 years of like my adult youth, like I would say all my 20s, I was not able to get therapy because my job didn't have healthcare. So not having healthcare was very difficult. And then I was earning more than Medi-Cal, right? So I couldn't qualify for Medi-Cal because I was earning quote unquote too much. And then I couldn't get insurance because insurance was like $400. So it put me at that like level where I was stuck on. So that was for me as far as like what I personally believe needs to change is there needs to be healthcare for all and it needs to be free. The second thing, the other stuff I want to go over is more as a mental health worker of things that I've seen. We have this concept in the mental health field that we say meeting folks where we're at. That's a great concept. I love the idea that we want to meet people where they're at. I don't think that's actually happening in mental health because there's so much red tape. There isn't like full support that we can do to like meet clients where they're at. For example, some of the mental health workers have a huge loads. That's the reality. There's high caseloads. Even when you talk about FSP, full service partnership, that's intensive case management, and you're looking at a caseload of 28 people to 20 people. That's impossible for you to see them every week and to build that solid relationship. So I would say that we need to change how much caseloads case managers and peer supporters have so they don't get burned out. We also need to increase wages. Peer supporters, just like everybody here is saying that they appreciate peer support and that they want us here and that our voices matter, you need to show us that with your money. Because at the end of the day, I can become unhoused if I'm a check away. I can become unhoused if I don't have enough hours. And so to me, I feel like if we really want to help peer supporters and say that, we support them, then we need to get paid more than 25 an hour. I think everybody in the mental health field isn't getting paid that much, and it needs to change because our work matters and the amount of stress that everybody goes through is daily. Another thing I would say is there needs to be more harm reduction therapy and support groups. SDI needs to increase. So many of our clients, as you guys know, are on disability and they're earning an income of $900 to $1,000. In Los Angeles, it is impossible for you to live in that income. Now, the problem is with people with disabilities, when you're paying them 900 or 1,000, it's like you're saying you don't matter because you can't work, you're going to be poor for the rest of your life, and it's unacceptable. SDI income needs to increase, and that's something that everybody should be fighting for. You cannot live off that money. And the last part is creating like a peer support like IHSS. Just like we have IHSS for caregivers for people with physical disabilities, we also need to have peer supporters for those who have mental health. And even with the IHSS workers, I mean, you got them getting paid $16 an hour. So again, these are things that I'm personally starting to see problems with the mental health system, and there's a lot of cracks where a lot of people end up falling through. So looking at these cracks and seeing how can we make these cracks disappear so we could help every single person. Yeah, and that's my opinion.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing. For our closing question, and in 60 seconds, what is one thing you hope everyone here will leave with today?
I hope everyone leaves inspired to advocate for more things that peers want. The only way things are going to change is if a group of us rally and start fighting for these changes to happen. It's very difficult as working and having to do advocacy work, but I definitely encourage folks and hope that everybody gets inspired to fight for the things that we feel need to change.
Okay. Thank you for your time and for sharing your lived experience with us in this forum and advocacy in the 2023 Los Angeles Regional Lead Summit. Thank you all.